Hi everybody, this is Fred from GameFocus French, and I'm here today with Vincent. Vince, you're the lucky guy in the team. You were chosen to represent us at the Call of Duty Ghosts event in LA. So, how was it?
Oh, it was great, Fred. It was quite an experience, actually. I mean, the whole gaming press was invited here, so I got to meet a lot of people here, and I got to meet a lot of like-minded gamers, you know. And Activision is great with these events, you know. They go all in, you know. They want to show you the game. They want to show you what's great about it. They want to show you everything. They don't hold back anything most of the time. So it's been great watching everything unfold. Yeah.
So, and tell me about where the event was held. Was this in a big environment and with thousands of people or more hundreds of people? How was it?
It was about, I would say, about 800 people. It was in a custom built tent that they built on the roof of the some place. I think it's LA Live here, and near the convention center. And it was packed. I mean, everyone was just excited to see the game. They were excited to play it, and it was a great reveal. It was a great reveal.
So now about the game. When it's Infinity Ward that is working on a Call of Duty game, it looks like we're listening a little bit more, aren't we?
Yeah. They've kind of been the drivers of this franchise. You know, they're the creators.
So this event was more about multi. So tell us what you felt was different in that upcoming game and that will make us want to buy that game.
Yeah, well, you know, one thing I hear a lot from our readers and from everyone on the internet, really, and is that Call of Duty is a franchise that's great. It's really addictive. It's something that once you start playing it, once you get into it, you really love it, and you can't stop, you know. But I think with an installment every year like that, people are starting to feel a little bit of franchise fatigue, and maybe from the games not being renewed enough every year, not featuring enough new things. And with Call of Duty Black Ops 2 last year, Activision was very, very much pushing new things in a single player, but the multiplayer was very much still the same. And with Call of Duty Ghosts, for what it looks like for me, is that, and what they said at the event as well, is that it's going to be the biggest overhaul of the entire game since the original Modern Warfare. So I think we can expect something pretty big this time around. Something I think they're making a pretty big bet on it. And
what's new? I mean, yeah.
There's a lot of things. If I look at my notes, I see like the biggest thing that I wrote at the top of it is other than the technical things, they said that they have a new audio engine, for example. Which is actually really great because, you know, they always talk about how much better the tech gets with every game, and that's great, but whenever it features some gameplay improvements as well, that's always a good thing. Because, for example, the audio engine, the sounds the guns that you use make are always going to be different depending on the environment you're in. For example, if you're outside, the gunshots are going to sound like you're outside. If you're in a small room, they're going to sound like you're in a small room. So one thing that's really big with this one is the maps have a lot more to them. You have to learn them a lot more. Anyone can jump in and play, but if you know the map, if you know everything about the map and how it works, you're going to get better at it. So, for example, with the new audio engine, you can hear gunshots and know where the enemy is. You can know because that room sounds like that.
Because of the environment. Oh,
exactly. Okay. So it's a pretty cool thing, and it actually works. You know, I was thinking when they were talking about it that it wouldn't really make such a difference because in the heat of the action you wouldn't notice really. But I was wearing these headphones playing the game, and I was thinking, wow, you know what? I'm actually much better at Call of Duty now than I was in the previous installments, just because of these little things that you notice.
So I guess someone in 5.1 Dolby Digital will have more with that.
Yeah,
Call of Duty.
Well, you know, it's not so much an audio quality thing as much as it is like just there's more audio in general. There's more effects and stuff. So even if you don't have a 5.1, I think you're still going to have that advantage of knowing that that room sounds like that, this one sounds like that. But you always have an advantage with 5.1. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, before recording, we talked a few minutes, and you told me about the bots. Can you say that to can you elaborate to the people what you told me before recording?
Another big thing is that in the previous Call of Duty games, people had different levels of prestige that we call. So whenever you reach the top level, you go to level 70, I think, depending on the Call of Duty game. You prestige and you go back to your original stats and you just have a mention on your profile. It's a fun thing, but for me it was never really worth it. It was never worth losing your weapons over. In this one, not only do you not lose your weapons because of prestige, but they overhaul the entire thing. It doesn't work the same way anymore. Instead of having 10 different levels of prestige where you start over every time, you have 10 different fully customizable characters. Which not only do they all have their different abilities and different guns that you decide to assign to them, but you can play in this new mode called Squad Mode, which lets you basically play with your entire team against another person's squad, and the other members of your squad, other than you, they actually are fully controlled by the AI, and at first when they said it made me really skeptical. And I didn't get to try the mode itself, so I still don't know about that. But from what they're saying, they made really tremendous improvements to the AI, which seems to be a big thing with next-gen games, I guess. But you're going to be able to play with your AI partners, and they're going to level up.
Something like the Dravatar of Forza 5.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly the same kind of thing. Like, they learn how you play. They feel like human players, and that's what's important. But the big thing with that is in Call of Duty, usually you have, let's say you pick one gun when you start playing, and then you level up and you start gaining perks and things that are associated to that gun sometimes. So you just pick favorites, and then you just play with that one weapon for a long time, until you unlock the next one. With this new addition, that means, from what I can tell, that means that you're able to have multiple characters that have each their own set of weapons. You can have a sniper, you can have close range, you can have anything, a submachine gun, and assign weapons to all these characters, and they're going to level up at your pace. So that means that, let's say you want to jump in and use a different character because you feel like being a sniper this time around, you're not going to be at a disadvantage anymore like you were in previous Call of Duty games. Wow. So that's a big thing for me personally.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Wow. So it sounds very interesting. So I think we're going to keep a few information for a podcast. I will invite you maybe with some of the guys from GameFocus that would very love to get inside our podcast show. So we're gonna have the time to talk a little bit more about it. I have to thank you for taking the time. I know you're between flights. Something you're coming back to Canada soon. So we're gonna have the time to talk more about that, and meanwhile I know you guys at home can watch this the feed that was recorded for the event was broadcasted live, I guess, over the internet, so maybe the people can go and watch this video as well. So Vince, thank you very much for taking the time again.
Pleasure.
And we're going to be back to talk a lot more about Call of Duty Ghosts this season. Bye-bye.
Sure, bye.